Shining bright, sunshine in the sky. Megan and Tammy here to testify, spreading love, laughter and good vibes too. The Fat Girl Chronicles, we're breaking through. No more.
Hey everybody, welcome to Fat Girl Chronicles. We are on episode number 2. Very exciting. So for those who don't know us, my name is Megan.
I'm Tammy.
And together we are the Fat Girl Flippers. And this podcast is called the Fat Girl Chronicles. We are on YouTube and Podbean for right now, but working on getting other podcast apps.
We'd like you to go to our YouTube channel, if you would, all of our people, and hit that subscribe button just to help our channel grow. We're hoping to get to 1,000 subscribers sooner than later, so we'd really appreciate your help. So if you can just go to our YouTube channel, the Fat Girl Chronicles, and click on subscribe, then you hit your notification button and your thumbs up, and you'll never miss an episode of podcast from the Fat Girl Chronicles, which comes out every Friday.
Every Friday. So today, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say what you were just going to say.
Yeah. So today we are going to be doing like a Q&A, like just random questions, and we're going to answer them. Feel free to comment below with other questions that you'd like us to answer, and we can do a different one at a later date.
Yeah, and these questions will help you guys get to know us a little better and find out some juicy facts.
Some spicy details.
So neither one of us know what the questions are going to be. We've just picked a random question generator. The only thing is that there might be, if there's a sensitive topic, then we're going to skip that question. But other than that, we're just going to go with what comes up.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's clicking the button.
All right. So the first question is from Megan.
Okay.
What is something you can never seem to finish?
What is something I can never seem to finish? I literally always say that I'm going to organize my life. I'm not sure if that counts, but like every weekend I'm like, okay, I'm just going to take this weekend and get everything organized. And I say that like every weekend. I'm always trying to get organized. So I never actually get organized. So that would be mine. What about you?
I already forgot the question.
What's something you never finish?
Something you never seem to finish. The never-ending DIY projects. I always seem to have something on the go, whether it be building something or a puzzle or remodeling something or upcycling something. I've always got multiple things going on, and bags full of yarn, and just. True. But yeah, I'm a starter, and it has to be very, very interesting for me to finish it.
Yeah, I can see that. Like, you're like that.
I lose my attention span very quickly if it doesn't. If it doesn't create something in me, like if it doesn't spark joy, I guess, in me for the long haul. Yeah. Then I will lose interest.
Yeah, one thing you have been always super good in is like painting and stuff. Like you always seem to like start those, but your painting kind of ebbs and flows. Like
because
your periods of painting.
Yeah, and even what I paint and how detailed the paintings are. Lately my paintings have been blah, and I've been bringing them home and destroying them.
Oh Lord, okay.
Therapeutic, destroying. And then for years I painted very detailed stuff, and always finish that. So that's what I finish. So,
do you want me to ask?
Yeah, go. Okay. Just click that little.
Oh my gosh, it's so cute. It's got a little rubber ducky, the generator. That's super, super, super cute. Okay. What is the worst movie you've ever seen?
Okay. The worst movie I've ever seen has to be, it was a 007 movie. I hate.
Oh, really?
007.
Never seen one.
It could have been the date, too. It could possibly have been the date. But yeah, I'm not into action movies, so I don't get the hype. I'm more of a drama, You know,
Yeah.
something that has a really good story to it that's going to make you get you in the feels, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's... What about you?
The worst movie I've ever seen. I don't know. I don't like scary movies, so I would say like one time I went to see that one. It was like some sort of prom horror film or whatever. I didn't really care for that because I'm not a big scary person. Like I don't like big scary movies. Yeah, I hate scary movies. But I'm trying to think. There was one with Jason Segel. I think it was like the 7-year proposal or 7 year. I can't even remember the title of it, and I can remember Richard and I like really trying to finish this movie. And Jason Segel was in it. And I think it was like the 7-year proposal or...
See, I don't even know who Jason Segel is.
Did you ever watch like How I Met Your Mother or anything?
No.
I'm
not a
good
big
show.
TV or movie person, so that...
Yeah, I watched this one on Netflix. I used to go through this thing where I'd binge watch a bunch of different series, and that was one of them. So he was in that. But yeah, I can't even remember what it was called, but it was like so boring. I just remember it being so boring. It was like 7 years something.
Let's hope it wasn't the 7-year itch. What's your go-to dance move?
Oh, you go first because we were just talking about this and Tammy already told me hers.
When you're built like this and you have a big booty, twerking is your dance of choice. So there, that's all I'm going to say about that.
That's your go-to move.
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I like the shopping cart. I always go to the shopping cart.
The shopping cart?
Yeah, like so for anyone who's like listening to the podcast, you can't see this, but anyone on YouTube, it's literally like you like you're shopping with a cart, like you're holding the handles and you're like do, and then you're like grabbing stuff off the shelf. So it's like do.
I feel like we're in aerobics class.
I'm like not a serious dancer at all. I love a good disco.
Oh my god, I love
a good disco.
I love dancing. When
Just
before
like
I was
being
in this
free
chair,
with it, right? Yeah.
And I could walk well and everything.
Yeah.
If as soon as music starts to play, especially if it's like reggae or soca or anything like Caribbean beats or Afro beats or anything like that, my body automatically goes into this convulsive state. Even in the chair, I'll be like
dancing.
Yeah, because I did that video at Christmas time. Remember of dancing to
yes.
"All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Yes. I shout out to the Fitness Marshall. I do like his stuff. He does like different he dances to different songs. Like you can find different songs on his YouTube. Mm-hmm. But and actually he just did one. He sent it to me. We were having a good old time. It was like the one where wheelchair accessible or a chair dance or whatever. Mm-hmm. And we were going on about Richard Simmons. We were gonna dress up and do But yeah, no, I love Fitness Marshall and dancing to his songs.
Whoops, I pushed the button by mistake, but...
No, that's okay. So what dumb accomplishment are you most proud of? Oh, I like nothing's dumb.
Yeah, we can just ignore the dumb.
Or the silly. What is the silliest
accomplishment? Yeah. Or more insignificant or something. Become a cat mom.
Oh, yeah.
Because I never thought I would be. Always been a dog person.
You have been, yeah.
So I'm proud of the fact that I've adapted because that's the only pet I was allowed to have. And I've actually fallen in love with the cat. So that.
Do you want to say his name?
His name is Archie and he's sitting right here because he loves to watch us.
And what color is he?
Archie is orange.
He's an orange cat.
And anyone who knows orange cats knows that they're a special breed.
Yes, and the thing about Tammy is that she raised Archie like a dog. So Archie, plays fetch. Archie, meows at windows. Instead of
growls.
barking.
He growls
when
when cars come in. Yeah, he scratches at the door like a dog. He's much
basically like a dog, which is kind of cool. What dumb accomplishment or silliest or whatever are you most proud of? Well, I guess I could say I'm a fur mom as well with Oliver. He's my little
Aw,
baby boy.
he's so sweet.
Yeah, so he's we just did a DNA test on him, and he's like 25%. Just it literally says super mutt is what the DNA thing says. Like, so he is very, very, very all over the place.
Archie's would probably come back King Archibald from
Yeah.
someplace in Scotland in a castle or something.
Exactly. So then he's mostly, other than that, he's got a little bit of poodle in him, which I don't see at all, but maybe personality-wise, but he is a lot of...
Size-wise.
Yeah, he looks like a miniature lab. He's got no lab in him, but he's mostly, terrier, is it? Yeah.
Fox Terrier, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Or
Fox Terrier. There's like a bunch of different terrier mixes in him, and I can see that. So I would say that is probably one of my most, like, one of the biggest accomplishments I have. It's not, none of it.
It's
these
not
are
dumb, but it's a little more insignificant than,
like,
like...
the standard, I
Yeah.
graduated this, or I
Yeah.
built this, or whatever. Yeah, I would say that. Yeah.
I never realized either, because I've always had pets in the past, but I haven't... I've had pets when I had children. I had pets,
Right.
when I was by myself, but I was working, or things like that. So I've never had a pet that I've kept in the house
Right.
with me 24/7.
Yeah.
And it's a really strange experience, like, to bond that way with your animal.
Yeah, it is. Like, they really do become part of, as he's, like, staring at the light. Oh, there's something. Yeah.
There's a cobweb.
He's staring at it. Yeah, it's super interesting to, like,
He's trying to
bond with your
plan
animal.
how he can get up there.
I can see him. Like, his eyes, for those, well, nobody can see me even if you're on YouTube, but he's, like, staring at the ceiling, like, twisting his head around, trying to figure it out. What is your favorite city?
My favorite city?
I
Anyone who knows me will be
I
shouting
feel
it
like-
out in the comments.
know this.
My favorite city is Belize City.
Yes. Yeah.
Always will be my home. Belize City will not be my home. Belize City is the capital city of the country, Belize, which will always be my home. But yeah, Belize City is my favorite city, and a lot of people would probably be surprised by that, because it's not what you would call a pretty city. But yeah, we've got some of the most beautiful people in the whole world there.
Did you want to say, like, a couple of things why you love, like,
Why I
what
love
about
it?
Yeah.
Water. It's got a beautiful... Well, there's not a beautiful beach in Belize City, but there's a river that comes in, and you're right beside the sea, and that's where the water taxi takes off to go to the islands. And
Yeah.
but what I love, riding the local buses, arriving at the local bus station, doing the local market, doing the thrift store, like the secondhand clothing shops, just the vibe of it all, like the movement and the people and the smells of the street food, and just,
Everything.
Yeah, there's just no place in the world like it.
Yeah. Yeah. So mine, I don't know if it's like I would say it's like a city. It's like its own little world. So that would be Disney World. That would be my favorite. I mean,
Megan has just officially made Disney
a city.
A city.
Anyone who knows me would know that would be my answer. I'm absolutely obsessed with Disney World. I love it. It's like my happiest place on earth, literally. So I would say that's my favorite city. And the things I love about it would be, there's nothing better than, yes, for those who can't. Archie, like, tapped me on the knee, like, what are you talking about, auntie? Okay. There's nothing better than being like a child. And I think it's so important to embrace our inner child. And I think as adults, we tend to get bogged down in, like, work and bills and making money to survive and, like, trying to maintain friendships and family and all that stuff.
Do you know what really made me kind of... I've always known you've loved Disney, but I could never really understand it until Trudy went to Disney.
Yes.
And I saw the pure joy on Trudy's face being in Disney. Like, I just... And I mean, that just... Trudy is Megan's mother-in-law.
Yes, she's my mother-in-law.
And they did a family trip and everybody went. But it was so great because The Trudy I know is always sitting behind a desk, and she's very like professional and
For sure.
you know, right?
Yeah.
And it was cool to see her be like a child because she was really
Yeah, I think
like
it's so
excited with
important.
everything.
Yeah, I think I know he's like, I'm
Welcome.
Just here.
Special guest appearance.
Archie has joined the table. I think it's super important
What
to
question would you like to answer there, sir?
embrace your inner child, and I think that's probably one of my favorite things about Disney is it allows adults to be kids. Yeah.
Maybe I should go there.
Yes. Okay.
It's so funny because that's one place I've never ever wanted to go.
And you know it's funny because Richard, when we first got together, he had no interest, and he couldn't understand how obsessed I was, and so we had gone.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember.
So we had gone, and he at the very end of it, I mean, he's 6'6", like 350 to 400 pounds, like he's a big guy, and he had his like little Mickey Mouse ears on. He had tears streaming down his face.
It was adorable.
Yeah, very, very sweet. So yeah. So the next question is, what talent would you show off in a talent show?
Oh, jeez. Go ahead if you know what you'd show off.
Talent. Well, I don't know.
I can start a mean fire.
Can
that
you like
count?
Survivor?
What?
Like Survivor? Like an actual
Yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
That's a talent?
Yeah, that's a talent. I can do that. Wilderness survival, yes, I can do that. No, I used to be an outdoorsman in 4-H, and we used to have woodsman competitions,
okay.
and part of it was fire starting competitions.
Okay, got you.
And we got really good at it, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'd be cool. Could you imagine?
Not in an arson kind of way, in a campfire sort of way.
In a totally legal and encouraged type of way.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
And it's interesting, and a lot of people might not know how they judge that, but what you do, they give you your little sticks of wood and everything, and you have to make your own shavings, your own kindling, and then your bigger sticks, and they give you a pot of water that has dish soap in it. And the first person to start their fire and boil the water so the dish soap overflows is the winner. Because your fire has to get hot enough to boil the water.
Right.
So, yeah,
That's
it's interesting.
Kinda cool.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool. My talent would be, I feel like if I put my mind to it and wrote up something good, I feel like I could do some sort of like very sarcastic like comedy. I feel like I could do that. I feel like if I would have to try. I don't think I'm a natural at it, but I do think that I've been told enough times that like a lot of I come off very like, if you know me in regular life, people like kind of not quiet. I guess you wouldn't know me as super quiet, but like at work and stuff, very like professional, quiet, whatever. And then I'll like come out with these little like zaps and
zingers.
Zingers, and I just throw everybody off. So, and I'm super inappropriate. So like, I feel like I could do
comedy.
I feel like I could do comedy.
I think you could too.
Yeah.
Oh, let's
What's
pick
the next question?
If you were a vegetable, what vegetable would you be?
Vegetable? Mm-hmm. I would be. Well, I only eat like 2 vegetables, so would it be one that I eat?
Flip a coin. Or is there a vegetable that you like that's pretty? You know what I mean?
That's pretty? I'm going to say I would like to be corn. Because I like corn.
Oh.
And I could be corn on the cob.
I would pick eggplant for you because it matches your hair.
Oh, but yeah.
Yeah. And eggplants are like kind of round and smooth and pretty.
That's true.
I like them. Yeah.
I just think of like the emoji.
True.
So it would also mean that I'm something else.
That wasn't going through my mind. I literally was thinking
That's the first thing I think of.
I literally was thinking of the real like fruit in my hand.
But no. Yes, that's true. Purple. Yeah, purple.
And a lot of the eggplants are not like long like the emoji. Most of them are kind of more round.
Yes. So yeah. What about you?
Vegetable. What vegetable would I be? I think I'd probably be like a cabbage or an onion because there's a lot of layers to me, and I feel like
that's deep.
I feel like
That's
that's
good.
deep. That's
That's
deep for a
good.
Sunday morning.
That's deep for Sunday morning.
Yeah, because there's a lot. I feel like I have a lot of layers, and I feel like I hide behind a lot of things.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of layers to peel back, and when you peel back the layers, there's pretty incredible stuff there.
Yeah. Yummy and tasty stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna get you to answer this first because I don't even know, but this is a good question. What fictional place would you most like to go? I feel like
Oh, the set of Little House on the Prairie.
I was gonna say I feel like I know this now that I've said it. Yeah.
I would love to go. It probably doesn't even obviously exist anymore, but I would love to go to that original set where they had Little House on the Prairie, and I'd like to sleep in the house they slept in up in that loft.
Yeah. Yeah. Scusi, Archie. Okay, well, I guess we could do, different sets. What fictional place? I would love to see, like, some of the princess castles, like Beauty and the Beast. I love Beauty and the Beast. My wedding was Beauty and the Beast themed. So it'd be nice to be able to go there and see the actual castle. I mean, there is a little castle at Disney World itself, but, like, it'd be nice to actually go there. Like in the fictional world, or to go under the sea and see where Ariel grew up, like that kind of thing. That'd be kind of cool.
Or you might see Nemo.
Oh yeah, little Finding Nemo. That one's kind of the same. Oh my gosh, some of these are sad. Oh, do we want to do that one?
Yeah.
Okay. If you lost all of your possessions but one, what would you want it to be?
It's laying on the table in front of us. It would be Archie.
Yes, yeah. I mean, he has been your support.
I always say, if there's a fire or there's a flood or anything happens, grab Archie and run. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about money, credit cards, none of that. My purse, passport, anything. I couldn't care less. The first thing I would do is throw him in his carrier, and out the door I'd be. Yeah. So I'm not a materialistic person, so there's not anything in particular that I would want to, hold on to that's really, really important to me. Yeah.
Well, I mean, an obvious one for me, again, would be like Oliver. Yeah. Like, I mean, that you would...
never forget about your husband, grab the dog!
Yeah, exactly. But, like, if I kind of went outside of animals, like Oliver, I would say I've got this jar of rocks. So before my nanny died, we used to go to the beach and collect rocks, and this used to be a thing because she lived really close to the beach in New Glasgow. And so I have these rocks that I collected after she passed on the beach that we used to go to. And so I only have about half of the jar left because what happens is sometimes, like if somebody's going through something, I've given some rocks away. I gave some rocks to my bridesmaids, like when I got married, because they're like, it's significant. Like the rocks means like something to me. And so I've always had this glass jar of rocks. So
That's
I feel
awesome.
I feel like I would.
I did think of one material thing too. And it's I have a little tin box that had fish hooks in it that was my grandfather's. So,
really?
Yep. And that's the only thing I really have that was his. So that's
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. All right, you want to go?
Yep, sure.
Want to ask us a question?
If you could have any superpower, what would it be?
Okay, so I feel like my immediate reaction would be like the nosiness in me would be like invisibility, but then that's like a surefire way to get your feelings hurt. I'm just like gonna say it. Like that's a surefire way. Because once you start getting nosy and you're like, I'm gonna sneak in on this person's conversation, and then if they're talking like smack about you, that's like a surefire way. So I'm going to say to fly. Because then you could literally travel all over the world for free and you don't have to worry about airplane seats. Just saying.
It's funny because while you were talking before you said that, I was going to say fly because I've always wanted to fly.
Yeah.
Even when I was a kid, that was one of the things, I've always wanted to be a bird, wanted to fly.
Yeah.
And you're right. You can fly all over the world and you don't have to worry about being too fat for an airline seat. Although, we'd need some massive wings to get this dodo bird off the ground.
You could have beautiful, big, beautiful, butterfly wings or something.
You know what I saw?
Super cute.
I saw a TikTok the other day of this photographer, and they were doing a maternity shoot, and it was in the forest, and they built wings out of tree branches, and green tree branches.
Really?
And made a set of wings, and it was absolutely incredibly gorgeous. She looked like a butterfly.
Really?
Yeah, it was really, really pretty.
That sounds pretty.
Yeah, and it was something I'd never seen, because you see all kinds of wings and but this was made from nature.
Right.
And the photographer actually made the wings. So it was really cool.
That is cool.
And it was somebody fairly local to us that did it. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like flying would be good because then again, you really can go anywhere.
That's right. It made me think I should go out to the woods and make a set of.
You'd be good. So Tammy would be
wings.
good at that. You would be good at constructing that, your imagination and stuff. That would be. You'd be. Really
I
good
can
at that.
see things out of I can look at something and see something else.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
and that's a gift.
Yeah, you're really good at that. She just recently did a chair. Where did you end up? Just off the side of the road, or where did you marketplace?
For once in my life, it's not from the side of the road.
Yes, she does like to do a side of the road.
We should tell that story.
Which one?
No, the biggest thing we ever squeezed into a car. Remember? It was our first trash pick, I believe. It was right around the corner from
your table.
Yes,
yes, your table.
That was really funny.
I can remember one time we were in Portland Estates, so that's Dartmouth. It's not so much ritzy anymore, but it's well known.
That was funny.
And we saw it was what was it, bookshelf?
Yes, yeah.
It was a bookshelf, and so we drove around once, and I'm we're in a Seoul, so that's I mean they're not small, but they're small, and so we drive by it, and Tammy's we need to go back.
It was a beautiful bookshelf.
It was, yeah. We need to go back. And I'm I don't think this is going to fit. We need to go back. Where's it going to fit? It's going to fit. It's going to fit. So we go back, and how much of the bookshelf did we actually get in? Most of it.
Three-quarters of it.
And it just would not fit. So we were on the side of the road trying to shove this bookshelf.
And everyone's looking at us because the cars are going by because it's Portland Estates.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. We've had many episodes where we've shoved. But anyway, back to my chair. I got it on Marketplace.
Yes.
I bought it for $15. Mm-hmm. And I will say, Kevin, who delivered it, kind of turned up his nose and made he's I don't know what you're going to do with this. And just kind of,
But she knew.
And I knew what I was going to do with it. Anyway, the funny part was that his wife, Amanda, I showed her after it was finished what it looked like, and she sent him the picture, and he said, "Oh, that looks pretty good." So
yeah, it's really nice and turquoise, but the making of the actual chair, it's
it's
wicker.
But
it reminds me of the Orlando airport.
Yeah, it's a big square chair. It's not your typical wicker chair.
It's super
and the arms are sweeping out like this.
Yeah.
So it looks like an armchair, but it's made of wood and wicker.
It's got wicker, but then it's got a turquoise cushion.
Maybe we can take a picture of it and insert it in here.
Yeah.
So, all right, next question.
We're just trying to find questions.
What's one place that you've traveled that you never want to go back to?
I don't know.
I couldn't think of one place where we ended up when we were delivering parcels. Remember in New Glasgow when we went in the backwoods?
Oh, yeah, we've been to some...
Remember we got the car in there and I'm I think this is the right road.
Okay. Tammy likes adventure. And I like adventure too, don't get me wrong. So we're in this big van doing deliveries. And she's like,
can't.
we can go down, we can go back to Truro and all these type of back roads. So she's like leading me down. It was like one back road
We
after
were
another.
fine until we lost internet because we were using GPS and I was following like the woods roads and the dirt roads on the
Yeah.
GPS. But then we lost internet.
Yeah.
And then we were screwed.
So then she's like, oh yeah, no, I can look at maps, I can do this. So she's like reading it, and eventually she like, we're like, keep in mind we are in a van, like
A white van.
and she goes, okay, turn left, and I'm like looking at this road, I'm like, I don't even think like an ATV can fit on this thing. Like, are you sure? She's like, oh yeah, sure, yeah, this is definitely it. We're driving up this like
We've had so many of these experiences.
we're driving up this small road that I'm pretty sure an ATV could barely fit on. Like the
It
tires
was an
are
abandoned woods road that was growing over in grass and
Yeah.
bushes. Yeah.
Yeah, and then she says, she finally looks at me, she goes, oh, I think this is like directing me like on a walking path. And of course I hate backing out. Like I literally cannot. So I somehow managed
Inch at a time.
and
Remember? It was like back up, pull ahead, back up, pull ahead, back up, pull ahead. Like literally an inch at a time. It must have took us 60 times to get the van turned around.
Oh my gosh, it must have taken us like 3 hours to go from New Glasgow to Truro.
Oh, yeah. We'll never do that again. But we did discover that beautiful lake. Remember?
Yes, we discovered a beautiful lake. We've done all kinds of things. We've had a lot of mishaps
that's
on
where
Marketplace.
we saw that beautiful, the path in the woods. Remember, we stopped and we got out and took pictures.
Oh
of
yeah,
that beautiful...
it was pretty up until it wasn't.
Well, it was pretty up until we got lost. What were you going to say about?
Oh no, I'm just going to say that we've been on quite like sketchy adventures. Just like,
Oh yeah, just doing deliveries.
and picking up stuff from Marketplace. Like
Yeah. We could tell stories about some of the clothing that we've bought.
with some of the clothing that we bought, but also like I think of like us trying
The
to get
places-
a phone. Like remember that? Like all those phones and.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we've been on some sketchy adventures, but yes, I would also agree that that's probably a place I don't want to go back to. Because everywhere like I've actually traveled.
Yeah, that's what I
I've
say.
enjoyed.
I've never heard you say that I didn't like anywhere.
Well, you know what? I feel like I didn't enjoy when I went on the cruise and I went to the resort in Jamaica. I really,
Totally understandable.
Yeah, not that I didn't like Jamaica. I actually quite like Jamaica, but I just to drive into the resort and see the community of see Jamaica and what Jamaica actually is, and then go into this like super westernized, fancy, gated kind of resort. It didn't feel good. The resort was not that great, honestly, and
It's really hard too when you're traveling and you do go to resorts to actually get a feel. Unless you go
For the real
off the
place.
resort,
Yeah.
you don't really get a feel for the country, and that's unfortunate. It's too bad that resorts didn't make more of an effort to, get people out there and let them see what the real world looks like. But again, then again, there are the people that don't want to see.
Yeah.
I guess, and perhaps that's why things are the way they are. Because
Yeah.
a lot of people that have money and would go to, like the higher end resorts really have no desire to go to
and see that
the outside world.
I really liked when I went to Mexico because, as much as I went into like more touristy areas, it did feel a lot more authentic.
Yes.
Like it wasn't like traveling to Mexico and then going to like a super fancy resort. Like we did, I guess ATVing or whatever.
Like
it
a
is.
Jeep, wasn't it? A Jeep
was,
tour or something?
Side by side.
Side by side,
Yeah,
yes.
like a side by side through the woods, and we went to like a little Mexican community, which was beautiful.
I will say that port in Cozumel where you guys went is probably one of the best cruise ship ports for realness.
Yeah, makes sense.
Because that island is awesome.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even Mexico itself. Cancun has a lot of huge resorts, and even going down to like more south Tulum area. But once you get once you get 2 streets back from that, you're in the real
thing.
Yeah.
All right. Do you want to do
Next
like
question.
3 more questions, or I don't know how long we've been talking for, but
Did I answer that? The worst place I've been?
no, go for it.
Yeah,
And you've been to some place, like Tammy has traveled.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I did. I'm thankful that I traveled because now I'm in this chair and I can't do much of anything.
Yeah.
One place that I will say, I'm very much like Megan in the fact that when I went to Cuba, and I've been there a fair amount of times, I didn't. My ex-husband was a big fan of going to the resorts in Cuba when we first got together.
Right.
And I didn't like that so much, so I always wanted to go off the resorts. So I would say that's probably, again, poor choices. If I could go back and redo it now, I would take the money that I spent on a resort and just go get a cheap hotel and explore somewhere.
Right.
Knowing what you know now. But
Yeah.
I mean, you have to go through those experiences in order to
sure.
learn.
Yeah.
So.
For sure. Okay.
Last question.
Last question.
Oh, it's a good one too. What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
Jeez. So I've received a lot of advice on various things. The first thing that sticks out to me would be not related to weight or anything, or bodies, but it's when you get married, like, so for weddings, like when I got married, the hairstylist that day told me to take a moment, like when you're having supper or whatever, and just look around the room, like just take everything in, because the day goes so fast. And I'm sure for those of you who have had that wedding, it does go really fast and it's overwhelming. And I mean, if you'd asked me today, I would just elope, like, honestly. But if you have but if you have had that wedding and you know, like, everyone's coming to chat with you and you're, like, still worried, making sure everything goes through, like, it's not, like, the most relaxing day in the world. And so it's really important to just take, like, a few minutes, like, even just 1 minute, and just look around the room, take everything in, look at all the people that are there, like, just take a second and breathe and just see it. And I think for some reason, whenever what someone says to me, like, what's a piece of advice, like, that's what I think of. But I would say, like, in terms of, like, mental health, another thing that I've really been trying to strive for is what people think of you is not your business. It's not your business. And so I've really been trying to focus on that. I'm someone who has I have two anxiety disorders. And both of them really impact how I view others viewing me. And so it's really hard to navigate life.
It almost makes you paranoid.
Yeah, it makes you paranoid, and it's really hard to navigate life trying to live your life through how you think others perceive you, or how you think others should think that you should live your life. Like, it's really weird. So, like, really trying to focus on it doesn't matter.
A lot of pressure from the external world.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. And so just kind of keeping that in mind, always remember that it's really none of your business if someone doesn't like you. It's really none of your business if they think you made a wrong choice, or if you're not good, or if you are really nice, or if you are, like, none of that is your business. So I think that is another piece of advice, mental health wise.
Yes, and if you can get your head around that, it makes your life so much easier.
Yeah.
Because I struggle with that as well.
Yeah. What about you?
And mine is around mental health as well. And my best piece of advice came from my counselor. Shout out to Maggie. She said, let it go. You know, let the toxic relationships go and just go out there and live your life.
Yeah, that's so important.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's really hard when the toxicity, I don't know if it's like the way someone would be raised or just human nature, but it is so easy. I always think about the moldy, I think they use orange or an apple for an example. Like, there's a moldy piece of fruit, and then there's a non-moldy piece of fruit, and you put it together, and then the mold just grows onto that other piece. And I think it's so easy to get caught up in that toxicity, in that toxic relationship, in that toxic family or friendship dynamic, work dynamics.
Even
easy.
The toxicity of, like, people gathering and gossiping and things like that.
So easy.
Like, I've really tried over the years to and it's hard when you're working because you're right. That's a big part of it all, right?
Yep.
And it really plays on your mind.
Yep.
So yeah, getting through that is a big accomplishment.
What about you, Archie?
Archie, do you have anything to say?
Kiki? Kiki? He's like, no. Kiki? Normally he talks, but he doesn't want to
Yeah,
talk
he does
today.
talk, so.
Okay, so that is episode number 2. Just random questions that we've answered, kind of get to know us style. If there's any other questions you want us to answer, definitely comment below. Inbox us on our Fat Girl Flippers site, which are on Facebook, whichever you prefer. And we can do another Q&A in a little bit.
I think we should go on the road. I think Megan and I should, for the next episode, or maybe not the next episode, but an upcoming episode, I think we should find someone we want to interview.
Yes.
And go on the road.
Well, and that kind of leads to my other question. If there is like a topic or a person, like we were kind of thinking about doing something around maybe like sex. So talking to like a sex therapist, or maybe talking to a place in Halifax, which I said earlier and I can't remember what it is. Venus Envy. Or talking to like another influencer, or even if
or one of our customers.
Yeah, one of the Fat Girl Flippers, one of the girlies, the OGs, or some OGs that have been with us since 2020. So we're thinking of those sorts of things. So if there's someone you want us
because there'll be new people coming on here, what the Fat Girl Flippers we sell thrifted, thrifted, good quality, plus size clothing at a great price. And we've been doing it since COVID.
Yeah.
And so we've met so many tremendous people. So that's who we are. That's where this came from.
Yeah.
We've known each other before that, but that's where it came from.
So if there's any topic or anybody that you think, we should try to reach out and see, or if you'd like to come on and talk about something, definitely comment below and let us know, and we can see what we can do. We can definitely go on the road. So that's episode number 2. Thank you so much for watching, and we love you guys.